Hi, back again. We start. So last time I told you that that is surely bad because you see it as titled. So we must work on our texture there. We have here our texture, and what we do now is we use a second texture. It shouldn't be the same as we used. It should be a little difference in that. So when we look, I think we had this one, and when I look here, that is nearly the same, but not completely. So when I open up that on the other side, we look now our texture that we have. So we see there is this one, and here we have also this or this, and we take that one here that is nearly the same and plug them into here in our texture folder. There is from textures.com this texture, you know that. So, and now we want to mix these two textures in one material. So here we have that, and now we want to plug there a second one. So what we have to do, we need a principal shader, Shift D, place it there. We need the other texture, so we need an image texture, Shift D. They should be on a separate mapping, so we can handle them separately. So Shift D. Then we connect here UV with the vector, like in the other two. Then we have here our image, so vector with vector, and we take the new texture, the second one that we want to handle there, and that is here. And then we need the principal shader who takes this texture, and that we want to mix together, two principal shader together. So add shader, mix shader, plug them here between, and connect the other principal shader with the second texture to it too. Now we mix that all together, but you see always these stripes, that is this tiles, and now we need another factor to make that not this even, and this is called noise texture, and this we use as a factor for the mix shader. Now you see it changed a little, but not too much. That is because we must find here the right values for that. So when we type here 1, you see it changed a little. When we type here 1, and we will type here 1. So now we only must find here the right position for that, and then all is fine. The vector we take from another one, so that comes better. And here the second texture there, we try 2 and 2, and now you see he mixed that better together. It don't look so as stripes as before. Sure, you see some stripes, but not as much as before. And when we get here 3 to 2, so that is a vector that isn't more like that titles there. And you see that looks not as it is much titled. That looks that it's much titled. So we have to do the same on the other words and the other shit there. So we simply copy what we must plug in there. That was this mapping, this image node, the principal shader, the mix shader, and the noise. And that Control C, we copy, and here we have this material outer wall, and Control V, we plug it in, and then we connect that. That means we cut here this surface, the normal surface, and plug that into our mixer, and then the output of the mixer into the material output. And now we have the mix there. Only thing we have to do is connect our second mapping with the UV. And that's normally all. What you can do is that you use a little contrast when you get the picture into principal shaders. So add color, bright and contrast, and plug that here between. And then you will see when I get here contrast 200, that makes that a little bit darker and realistic, more realistic. That is good. It is not perfect when you take a third or fourth texture in it, then that was perfectly. So we take the wall, you see that looks very awful, and now Control V, plug our stuff in, and again the same procedure. We connect the UV with the second mapping, then we place the surface into our mix shader and the output of the shader into the surface, and we have then the correct wall that don't look titled, or not so much titled, we said so. Good. The same problem we have with the tower. File, save. So the tower is only here an instance of the real one. The real one is on layer 5, I think. Okay. This green line shows you that he has a group, that it is in the group. So here we have this stone material 2. I think that is it. I must click one time. Tower base stone material. That we must change. So we have it here. Then Control V to plug that in, and same as before. Don't tell it all the time. You know what it is and how to handle. Here we also take, here we can make it a little bit smaller, I think. That is a little bit too big. So we go here to 200 and here to 100. So that makes it a little bit finer. And we take here a contrast. So add color, bright and contrast, and take them here to 200. Then you see it's much darker, sharper, and looks better. This bright and contrast you can make with all textures in principle. That's every time looks better. Good. So it should be not so awful that before, and that is it. That is good. The bottom we have this title problem 2. File, save. So we had that mud texture, and we need a second one to move them away. This title effect. That was our mud, dirt, and we take a second one now. So I go to my texture folder, you know, textures.com, and I search a second one. that is possible, or that. I take that here. So copy and paste it in our texture folder, and then we mix them both together with the factor from a noise, and that should give a better result. So we can place here the same, Control C. Shit. Control V. Well, now it's late. Good, so we take it here again. The mapping, the things, the principal shader, the mixer, and the noise. Control C to copy, go here, Control V to input. And now replace that there, and that there, and this one there. So we have that mix, but we must take here sure the other texture as the dark one. And now we have to play with the values as long as we see there the problems. So we see there are much, so we can increase the scale, I think, here. Details, the distortion, and then we have to higher here the values. But the tiles are too often there. So we must change the vector. We tried with a high scale. We see what happens when we mix that 2 or 3 times, I think. But we try first the details high. That don't bring so much, so 1 is good. The distortion we try a high value. Gets better. And when we mix that now 2 times, so we take here a second mixer, Shift D. We take a second principal shader, and we take here the texture again, connect them with the principal shader, and take a new mapping there, and connect that with the UV, and plug that to our texture, and that we connect with the second mixer, and this should be controlled by a noise again, but you see that is now better. But we take the second noise and use them again as a factor there, and then that should have no problem with all that shit there. So 0.2, and here 0.2, so that is an absolutely organic flow something, and you can handle that each time by changing the values there. Yeah, so for that is good like it is. You can play with the values as long as you would when you think that is fine. Good. File, save. Last time we started when Blender crashed to build that house here. So we stand there, and that is wood, I told you. So we need a wood texture. So we go in and texture.com and search there wood. But I have that in my folders, so I take my one. Here. And I want to take, let's look which one. It's important that you take the right texture. Not each texture you can use for everything. Eh? It's so different that you must look each time what can be the best. It should be old and should be rough, and it shouldn't have so much title. I think that here can work. But it's not my favorite in real. That the Predators. Yeah. That one here is also good. A little bit. Oh no, I think we can take that. So copy, plug it in our texture folder. It's there. Then we say here this top thing there, edit mode, mark scene, object, apply, rotation scale, U to unwrap, new material, call it wood window 1. Give them a principal shader, get your base color on the dot and say it should be an image. Open it, we go to our texture folder and give him the wood material, and you see the wood is plugged on. And when you handle now this material like we did it with the other, then you can get better results. That means we can take it in displacement, so we get a depth, but that is too high, that looks awful. So you need a math node to control that. So you get converter math between that, and then a multiply as function, and then a value of 0.3 maybe or less. That you must decide what you like. Then a little bevel is better, but nothing in real has so sharp edges. So Control B, move there a little and roll them in the mouse button, so we have there a better shading on the edges on the old stuff there. Then when you want to get there more realistic, you also can take that contrast again, add color, bright contrast, and when you take there more, you see that looks much more interesting, like before. If I save. The same one we need down under there, so simply Shift D, make a copy, bring it there. To get not the completely same one, rotate Y 180 degrees, turn it around. Shift D, place one to the side and rotate Y 90. And then we plug them a little bit back and Shift D, make a copy of that, and then rotate Y 180 to turn it. And so we have different ones. Good. We done that. So we have that window. We make a copy, Shift D, we join that all together as one. Then we say object, apply the rotation scale and set the origin to geometry. This one here we move to another layer. So move to second layer. So we have done the one window there. This second window here we place to the fifth layer, like the tower is. So M, to move to the 5th layer. We go to the 5th layer, then we press Shift C to bring the 3D cursor there in the middle, and then our object, Alt G, will place it there too. You can't see it, but when you get here in the wireframe mode, you see this in the middle point where the axis comes. Control G, you say green, it should be a group, and give them name window little house. Good. Here is all done. So we go back to material mode, we go back to first layer, front view, go to the little house there, click there, add group instance, and there is now our window little house, and it's only an instance, so not more words are needed there. So we get down this axis from the empty. Good. Now we need to build that door, or we simply take some door. Yeah, and then this ways, this walls, this roofs, all needed. And this door, oh, it's so much, you don't believe it. Good. So at first I want to make here this door, the front door, to go in there. You go to materials, there is no material, so we create one and call it front door. Good. Then we look what we have there. Is there something marked? Not. Then we take here the front one and say mark seam. Then we take the back one and mark seam, and a little cut we don't need. Okay. So then we apply the rotation scale of the object, we set the origin to geometry, we go edit mode, type A to select all, U to unwrap, and we take from view. Good. Bring it a little in the middle there. Good. File, save. We take there a door, but not like that tooth that we have. So texture.com, you know, I hate to say that every time. I look in my door folder, and I take that one. I think that can be good there. And go in the texture folder and copy that there. So then we go there and say here front door, it should have a principal shader. We say it is an image, it should be opened, it is in the texture folder, and here we have it. And you see that one fits really good. So to control such, you need to know the name. It's doors ornate 240. So then you can search here for this texture. There it is. Now you see it in the UV image editor. When you now go here in this window in the edit mode, you see here your object, and then you can scale it and you see directly it fits or not. You can grab, you can scale, can do all like in the normal 3D view too. Scale X, scale Y, but think on it that is 2D. So you don't have more than Y and X, yeah. You have no depth. Good. Think that is good. That is our door. That is fine. And from both sides, that is fine too. We can give them here this 3D effect by displacement, but you see then it's too hard, like ever, so we need what? A mass node, yes. And it should be multiplied. And it should have a lower value, 0.3. Then you can take their what? The contrast, correct. Color, contrast, there. Give them 2, yeah, too fat. So give them only 1 or a little less. So maybe 0.7 or so. And that you see from far away that is harder. You can make it smoother if you want. Good. We done that door 2. Back to the house. Here is the house. File. Save. Yeah, we have to do that. Oh, fuck. Okay. This door between the walls I will make now. So we have here our walls, and there between should be this door. So edit mode, take one of them, Shift D, get there, scale X to make it smaller, bring it there, extrude it to that point. Yes, but a little bit higher. You see it goes straight up. So that is good. Then we take there with L, you can select them complete, mark seam, and you unwrap. So all we have to do is give there a material door. So yeah, a material. So we call it door side. Take there the principal shader, take there texture. It's always the same. Open up, go texture folder, and we take that one. That was good. Sign. See, it's all rough style. So we go here and make it rougher. No, it's okay. So we need the name of the door. So we go in our texture folder. There is the name of the door. 9 door. 9 door. So we can go here and there is 9 door. So we see what happens there. And we got that we only must plug correctly. You can take one word, grab it, bring it there, grab the other one, put it there, and so you can place it there. That is also possible. It don't look so nice, but it is possible. That is what I want to tell. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it. You can play that a little like you would when you see that's for you okay, then it's okay. The other method is to make it from view. Then you only must rotate them, but you must know what you will do there. Good, but there's a little door, all's good. You can make it a displacement again. Okay. I don't make here contrast, so it's enough here. Good. File, save. In the house must be built as correctly, and here the water candle is needed here around. And here at the back, when we go upward, there must be built great rocks. Yeah, that will be all nice. Good, but for today I have no book, man. So see you in the next tutorial. Thanks a lot. Bye.